So I'm gonna get right to it. So we're gonna talk about Thrag from last night's episode, episode 7. And I wanna just talk about Thrag and the Viltrumites like power scaling. Like a good power scaling though. I really wanna talk about it, so hear me out. So we know Mark's been so back then it was last season, I believe. It was season what was it? It was season 3, I believe. Back when Mark was on his training arc when he first fought Conquest, when he was bench pressing and everything. So I was doing some research, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen so I can show y'all. I was doing some research. So Cecil said Mark had he's able to lift the heaviest thing on Earth, like this is the heaviest thing that we can find on Earth. So and that happened to be a iceberg. Mark is able to lift a iceberg, right? A iceberg weighs about 1 trillion tons. So a baby Viltrumite is lifting 1 trillion tons, right? We talking about weight wise, because the largest iceberg in real life and on Earth in our world weighs about 1 trillion tons. Cecil said Mark had lifted the heaviest thing that we can find on Earth. So that means Mark would be bench pressing, lifting 1 trillion tons. So that puts him strength wise, that puts him around like Kryptonian level, like average Kryptonian level strength. Strength wise. But we get to the part where Omni-Man, Nolan, said that he moved a asteroid that's the size of Texas. That weighs that means he has a lifting power of quartillion tons, which is an asteroid of the size of Texas would be quartillion tons. So they have Kryptonian strength feats when it comes to strength. When it comes to strength, or at least in the lesser average tier of Kryptonians. Elite Kryptonians, I don't think they come close to them. But if we're talking, and when compared just the A tier elite Viltrumites comparing to the lower tier average Kryptonian. I think the elite Viltrumites, strength wise, are on the level of a lesser average Kryptonian strength, like a baby Kryptonian or something. So like they can hang with Kryptonians is what I'm saying. They can hang with them when it comes to strength. Um, and I've realized that the this counterpart between the comic book and the show from Invincible, the power scaling is completely different. It's completely different. It's not the same. It's completely different from the comic books compared to the show. The comic books they're a lot weaker. They don't have their lifting feats will probably be around like at least a couple 100,000 or something like that. To just average Viltrumite to 1 million. But if we're talking about show wise, they Quintillion is elite tier Viltrumite strength. Now we're gonna go on Thrag, right? Which we seen that Thrag is on a whole completely different level compared to the other Viltrumites. Obviously, we seen that, but what we don't, what I typically don't see or hear is that Thrag exceeded past Mark and Nolan's strength in all ways, strength, durability in all ways, and I'm gonna touch down all the aspects. So number one, remember, Nolan hits on a quadrillion ton range. Mark hits on a trillion ton range. Thrag, like his gap between them is way more massive than it was in the comics. That's what I'm trying to say. Thrag is basically, I'm telling y'all, Thrag is basically a baby Kryptonian level. That's what I'm trying to say to y'all. He is at least a baby, like a teenager to a young adult Kryptonian level. I'm telling you that Thrag is on the level of a young Kryptonian. That's what I'm about to say to y'all. He's able to create a vortex with his fist charging up. He's able to create a dense pressure in the atmosphere with the atoms or whatever you want to with physics or what you want to call it. He's able to create a pressure in a vacuum there to create a vortex to suck Nolan in. To suck Nolan in so he can do a devastating blow upwards like an uppercut into the outer orbit out of the atmosphere to the orbit. And he basically made Omni-Man like I want to say like break that outer atmosphere, like the layers, like the layers when you breach out of the sections when you go out of going into space, like out into the orbit. He's able to turn basically he's able to turn Nolan into a rocket like literally like a rocket. He turned Nolan into a like a spaceship. That's how hard he was hitting him. His his hits is very impactful. You can feel it. You know, it feels strong. You can really like. He doesn't look like he's trying. One punch, he creates sonic boom shockwaves, and it looks like he's not even really even trying. Like he's love tapping. He is able to obviously Kryptonians. I mean, sorry, not Kryptonians. Obviously, Viltrumites can move at the speed of light and faster than the speed of light. Thrag, on the other hand, is able to move massively faster than that. As we can see that he dodged Ray Spacer's little speed, little energy beam gun or whatever he had. Then you're able to see him succeed in dodging it, like able to dodge Nolan's like attack from not even looking at him. And he moved like that, like the way he moved, it's like he moved really smooth in space, by the way, like he did like a back step. Like it's more like he's land walking. Like it feels like he's walking. It kind of feels like he's not even levitating the way he moves because it feels like he's like on foot. It's like he's walking on like pressure. Like I don't know, bro. Thrag just felt different in this episode. He felt like, really strong, right? Really, really strong. He felt really strong this episode, as in like they didn't display him this strong in the comic books. So in my eyes, I'm saying like Robert Kirkman. I don't think it's a fact because he's telling us. He's basically telling us in the show wise that Viltrumites can hang with Kryptonians or like Saiyans as when it comes to strength, and we're gonna get to the durability as well. But he's basically buffing Viltrumites through the Amazon show instead of how he had them in the comic books. He's pulling the opposite because typically in Marvel and DC, their counterparts are more stronger in the comic books than they are in the cartoons or the live action. He's basically doing a whole Uno reverse, as in my counterpart is they are stronger on the TV show, but they are weaker in the comics. So I kind of like that he kind of did that, but basically, yeah, he created a whole vortex with his fist, and you have to generate a lot of force to do that. And they said that I'm gonna pull up some of the screenshots on here. I'm gonna put all this up on here. I'm gonna pull up my receipts and everything. I was doing the math, the calculations, and everything. I'm gonna pull all that up. But basically, what he's trying to basically what he's been doing is he's able to create a vortex which you have to hit a certain speed and have a certain velocity and like having a certain strength level. He is hitting a Mach 10 speed with his fist. Apparently that he's moving his fist so fast he's able to generate that vortex. Apparently, right? That's a huge feat to do. I never seen anything like that before, by the way. Maybe with people with swords and like all that other shit, but I never seen no, and I know Superman has feats that obviously scales higher than that when it comes to his strength because he punched so hard, he split space and time or reality or whatever, or shatter the sun's core. I don't know what he did a bunch. Man, he's 100-year-old superhero. He literally did everything you possibly can do with him. He done it all. He became a cosmic being, a god. He became human. He did everything you can literally do for him. He became evil, good. He became a female version of himself. Like he literally did everything. So Superman is literally the most broken fictional character there is. So I'm not gonna say Viltrumites are stronger than Superman or whatever, but let alone Kryptonians are broken, but Superman is really broken. But what I'm trying to say is Viltrumites can hang with them. Is what I'm trying to say. This video is not about them being stronger than them. This video is about them basically making them hang with them. You know what I'm trying to say? But I'm just rapping about that and everything. I just want to clarify the scaling and like like all that other shit. So, but the durability feat too is another thing. How Thrag was he got punched by Mark with full speed, full speed, full speed. Mark gave it his all. He punched that Rag in the face. Drag barely even flinch. Mark hand like he's like spring or broke Mark's bone or something in his hand. Thrag barely even flinched at that. In the comics, Mark made Thrag bleed. Mark gave Thrag a nosebleed. So I'm saying is Mark is already a planetary. He's like a small moon planetary feat. He's basically a small moon level. Basically, he has he has a hidden force of a trillion tons, or you could say he has a lifting force of a trillion tons. But if you can lift that much, you can hit that much. But he basically have a hitting and lifting force of 1 trillion tons. Thrag is able to take a punch from a trillion punch and also take a punch from a quintillion punch from Nolan, which Nolan demonstrated that he can lift up to quintillion when he's pushed and threw the asteroid. He threw it. He threw the asteroid back into space. So him able to throw it back into space, which weighs quintillion. That bro, that's like I don't know if I'm even trying to make y'all understand what I'm trying to say. Robert Kirkman basically made Viltrumites literally like, bro, this is literally low tier fucking Kyrptonians, low key. Like their feats is off the markets. Like it's off the charts. Drag is able to take a punch from a quintillion force, a quintillion ton force. He's very durable. What I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, in a comic books, Drag is able to survive the sun for a couple minutes. Like I think it was like 20 minutes or something like that. It was fine for like around 20 minutes or less. But what I'm saying is, if this is his feats in the show, Drag can survive in the sun for hours. It's basically what I'm trying to say. It with his power level, how they display his power in the show. He is a lot far stronger than he is in the comic books. I think Thrag will be. I think Mark and Thrag is going to be fighting in the sun for hours. I think they're going to pull that off. He's strong. He's strong. He's able to rip Daddy's head off with ease the speed. Daddy didn't even see him, bro. That's how fast he was. They didn't even see him, and when he ripped the head off, bro, his shockwave pushed him back. Like this man, bro. He's on a whole different level. But I'm gonna put my receipts up. I'm gonna put up all my receipts, everything. I'm gonna put my receipts up. But y'all should be knowing this already, though. Like, bro, it's just mathematics. It just calculate it. Like just like we calculate Superman or Dark Side feats and everything, or the Saiyans with their planetary feats, or like solar busting feats. We need to start actually scaling them for this time. 'Cause I feel like y'all still think that this is comic book strength. No, Kurtman made them stronger, a lot stronger than they comic book counterpart, and nobody's really talking about that. And I'm honestly surprised. And I think I know why. Cause y'all don't want to hear Viltrumites going toe to toe with no Kyrptonians or Saiyans, even though they also lose. But y'all don't want to hear that they can hang with them for a minute. You know what I'm saying? They have enough strength to at least make a Kryptonian bleed. You know how Mark made Thrag bleed in a comic. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, show wise, Kryptonians will be Thrag. Kryptonians will be Thrag in the comic books, and Viltrumites will be like Nolan. I mean not Nolan. Mark in the comics. That's how the gap is. I look at Kryptonians and Viltrumites now, like the Viltrumites in the show. Viltrumites are able to make Superman bleed. Is what I'm trying to say. Average base Superman. I'm not talking about his other variants where he can. I'm not. No, we talking about just base average Superman. We're not talking about none of that extra ass variants Superman. Like he got all that extra shit. Like he can reminds and shit all of a sudden. Like I'm talking about base average Superman. But yeah, that's my rant. That's my rant about it. I'm honestly gonna make another video about I'm gonna make another video about the psychological battle that Viltrum had to endure, and Thaddeus and Conquest had to psychologically change themselves through because the shift in their cultures and stuff, and how it impacted them, and how it's impacted the Viltrum Empire. I give a little snippet, a little bit more in depth what I mean by it, as in Mark is a reset button for the Viltrumites. In my eye, how I'm seeing how Kirkman is running it, Mark is like a anomaly. So Viltrumites are at the brink of extinction. In reality, I believe. Well, I don't believe. I know. It's not a belief. It's like there's a balance of in this universe that balances out everything. Everything's being balanced out. It's not supposed to be too evil and too good. How you can call it the yin and yang, the duality of the effect or whatever, or the Amen Ra or whatever. But what I'm basically trying to say is, um Viltrumites are very like great power with that great responsibility to take took into a literal to like this actual saying. Like they have so much power to the point where they think that they have to rule and take responsibility of the universe, to the point where they have to be reminded that just because you have so much power doesn't mean you have to be disconnected from your, I don't want to say humanity because they are, but then again it's a theory going about that they come from Earth and they're our cousins or whatever, which I honestly believe, because what are the odds that Nolan and Royal Blood was sent to planet Earth and to have Mark, and Mark started his whole rebellion. Viltrum, you get to see the journey. It's like a spiritual reset for the Viltrumite. It's like they had lost themselves, so they go back to their roots, and that's Earth. That's where they originated from. And this is my little theory. It's like a symbolic meaning that I think that's what Kurtman is going for. But it's just my little theory that how I'm looking into it. But I do believe Earth is like a reboot, to for them to regain a soul, because Viltrumites have no soul right now. But we seen it when they went to the planet. They start to deliver these feelings, or like a soul, like culture, like a soul. And the longer they stay on Earth, like Craig, Luke, and they all fell in love, got married, had kids. Then Earth is like a wake up call and a reminder for the Viltrum Knights to like, yo, remember y'all came off this rock and explored the stars. Remember why did y'all all work together and y'all didn't have to colonize planets and planets. That's basically what is how I'm looking at it. It's a reminder of who they once were, and what they had lost throughout thousands of years of colonizing and everything. It's kind of poetic. It's kind of like real life if you really think about it. We got the I ain't gonna get into that's another video, but basically yeah, that's I want to just do a little ramp about that, and like a little bit, but yeah, that's really what I have stored up. I'm gonna put the receipts up on the video, but yeah, bro, yeah, listen, man, I'm gonna do another video about this, and yeah, I'm gonna break it down real nice and well for y'all. But yeah, I appreciate that. So appreciate if y'all watch this video and everything. But yeah, yeah.